What's going on, traders? Yeah, I just want to get on here and share the trading day with you. A little bit late to the New York session, getting this going. I've been dealing with some. Oop, wrong button. Been dealing with some trading errors and just there was a news event that got me induced basically for almost a. Pull up the report card here for the start of the day. I mean, we're down almost to max loss just with that kind of bonehead decisions. But you know, NASDAQ did just hit a new all-time high yesterday, and so I was trying to catch this thing. If you pull up the charts here, I have this little ad on the side. Hopefully that'll hide the account numbers and everything. I'm trying to be mindful of that. But I was trying to, basically I got in on it right after the news event, trying to catch this bottom. Went too heavy with one contract. I wanted to do 5 minis, but it was so delayed for some reason. I don't know what the hell the problem was. But yeah, so I was going a little bit heavy trying to catch this bottom, and then I had 100 tick stop on one contract, which is 0.5% risk, $500. Just barely wicked me out, and 500 should be my max loss for this account for the day. But you know, we'll see how the first couple moves here go. I'm hoping to ride this for another bull wave today. That's my hope, at least. While this is kind of diddling around over here, pull up the 5-minute chart. Maybe let's do 15. It might be easier to kind of see what's going on. And so, basically this high right here is at 18,739. That's the all-time high. NASDAQ's never been this high before, and so there is a danger when you're dealing with like new highs of like a big short, and you'd almost look at it like every spot that you see, like right there, and here is like a potential like zone that it maybe could go down if it's going to. I don't think it's going to, because of this, just the series of events that's been going on, which have been consolidation on previous new record highs, followed by some like a bear downward energy for a while. And then yesterday, this thing just exploded with this new high from I think it was a CPI event, a news event. And so, basically my thoughts are this morning, catch this low for the New York Open, and hopefully it just rips high. So I'm going a little bit heavy with one contract. I guess Apex just came out with a new rule for trading PA accounts. This talks about having a stop loss and take profit put in. We can do that. I mean, the only reason I don't really like having a take profit set, I'll not most of the times I'll have a stop loss at least, so I don't get out of control with their risk management, which can happen easily. If you start to spiral and start to like get a loss, and then it's a big one, and then it's it's only like $20 right now for a 250K account from Apex. Let's just go full tilt and blow the week or two of progress on the eval just because of being impatient, or just not, just losing our mind on some level. I try to get back to base camp every day. It's just Not overly concerned with the losses, not overly concerned with the wins, where I'm at in like the evaluation process. If it turns into a PA account, not really being overly concerned with that either. Just really sticking to like the game plan, shooting for 1% on each account. Right now I'm only doing this one account just to keep the risk low. It's like, yeah, I could be on, I have 200K accounts going, both in profit, one almost halfway to passing the eval. The other one, it just boils down to risk management on some level. You can look at all the accounts as one big account, which is like, 350,000. But if I keep good risk management on each individual one as a whole, as a unit, it'll show that in the P&L. I'm keeping an eye on things here. I mean, we're at kind of a level where it needs to bust through that. To the way it's looking, it looks like we're shooting for those new highs, and especially on like the 15-minute chart. And nice solid bottom, looks like it's been found. This is gonna be almost a 200-point ripper up here. Almost 200, which would be $1,000 with one contract. Nope, I forgot. A little tardy, but let's do this just for the vibe's sake. Let's get that bell going. Let's try to get out of this hole that we've been in with that heavy bottom trying to get to. If that makes sense. If you're going to try to catch the bottom, you definitely don't want to go heavy. You want to give yourself plenty of room for error, because this thing can be really illogical. And that's because of just human nature on some level. This is an auction environment, and weird things can happen in auction environments. You can look into like the science of that kind of shit, where people will spend double. It's like, say you're having an auction for a $20 bill. People can get so swept up in the just wanting to win, or beat the other person, that they'll pay more than like $20 for a $20 bill. We're starting to get up there. At this point, it feels pretty obvious that that we're headed towards the highs. Hopefully, you can catch this on a stream. I wanted to get on the power hour yesterday with it was so bullish, like from like noon to 2 o'clock. I was hoping that during power hour it would just be this big rip, and it was just chop. It was, there was a little bit of a push through the high, but I mean, it was only maybe 20 ticks. It was lackluster. I ended up having a break even. I was up $500 from the I was just going small on the power hour account, as it was just trending so awesome. It's just like, okay, well, I'll just put a small, like 5 minis or micros or whatever. I'm actually gonna take some profit right now, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. The reason I want to take profit is to lock in a win. I'm gonna cancel those. Maybe see if I can get a better position. I might even start to size down a little bit. Let's see how that looks a little bit better. Now 265. not as big of a freaking hole. It looks like it's still getting ready to bust through there. Maybe not. Maybe I just bought at the top of the hill like a dummy. We'll see. I'm still going a contract. This time, 952. I mean, you can see some huge moves still. We get on maybe the 5-minute chart, so it's a little bit bigger over here. You know, the danger zone still, you know, is like pretty much like this level right here was the last, like, okay, that last kind of swing high. I mean, yeah, you have this candlestick wick from the news event that kind of, you know, kind of ruined a lot of people's morning that were in a short that got stopped out of that move, but you got to be really cautious when dealing with highs, not to carry a lot of like that euphoric energy of like being overly bullish. Bringing a lot of that past euphoria almost into the present moment can kind of fuck you on some level, because if it's starting to shift bearish, you might not see the early signs. And one of the early signs is like you got a high, we got this drop down, and then we got this weak ass candle going right now. I'm gonna get out of this. I don't like how weak this is. I'm gonna get on the 1 minute here. I'm going to short that. And so kind of the reasoning behind that is just because how weak that was acting. It's almost 10 o'clock. A lot of times it reverses about now. But, you know, we don't have a definitive bottom. It's like, yeah, we have this, but we need that higher low to really confirm that move to the upside. So I'm just going to hold this guy. Pretty strong buying. You know, these big ass wicks show a lot of buying strength. Yeah, that showed me enough buying strength to maybe get tricked into buying it at the top. You know, but, you know, buying it at the top, it's the breakout. You know, are we catching the breakout move up high? You know, if that was the newest higher low, I mean, then it's really bullish in here. Let's see if that breaks that high, what this does. I got my finger on the button just in case. I'm hoping for a breakout. If it doesn't break out, then I'll probably short it again. It just broke out, so up to the highs we go, pretty much. You just gotta be really cautious when you get to these tops, not to carry that same, it's never going to go down energy. So it traps a lot of people, myself included. That's why I kind of know that, because I got tricked and trapped at the tops of this so many times, thinking, oh, it's never going to go down, and then it's just like a 100-point move to the downside, which is enough to kind of wipe an account if you're going really heavy. I still don't like how weak it's acting. The thing with Quan Tower, see how there's all these working orders? You gotta be really careful to close those down. I'm shorting it again just because that uptrend was so weak. You know, I was hoping for that breakout move, and it just, I think it still just needs that down. Besides the fact we're so close to this danger zone right here, you know, this thing could drop down again and have a big down day. And so I'm like kind of overly cautious at the moment. Or abundantly cautious. Maybe that's the best way to say it. We'll wait till this drops a little bit more. I have a little bit more faith in just holding this more. Yeah, hit that level. We'll keep an eye on it though. Let's see how bullish it's going to be. If it's going to be that to be the new higher low, I don't know. It's almost 10 o'clock. On the 3 minute, that's looking pretty. Alright, let's just hold a bullish thing. Got induced to buy it at the top. Oh, it's going up. I gotta get in on it. No, it's sitting in a hole. Gotta be mindful of what's going on here in the P&L. Sometimes these fees and commissions and whatever's going back and forth a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, I closed the trade with a $100 loss, but then not keeping track of the fees then too if you're doing multiple trades. I'm starting to get chopped up. I'm just going to stay out of it for a minute. Close all these working orders down. Let's catch the vibe here of what's going on. I think it's still going to sell. I don't know what is going on with this glitchy. It's like delayed almost. It feels like you click the button and it's like delayed. So in the DOM, I have it kind of hid, you know, by this this graphic. Oh, for fuck's sakes. But Apex was like come out with a new rule of having a take profit and a stop loss in. And so I'm just gonna get used to just having those already kind of predefined. You know, if it's more of like a like the stop loss is more like a landmine stop loss. 100 ticks at one contract is like 0.5% risk. That's $500. But I'm in this short. It's kind of ranging sideways. We haven't really got that big move either direction. I was hoping to see more of a rip to the upside. Have that better. The DOM is not very entertaining. You know, but you can see, like, to me, this is why I'm thinking short, you know, because that reason. I mean, yeah, you have this outlier wick here, but you know, a lot of times, you know, that move right there was what I was like hoping to see test the high. The fact that it didn't, you know, it's like at this point, it's gotta have a new higher low. You know, most of the time it doesn't really have that big definitive move off of a new low. A lot of times it has to have a low and then another higher low, and then the move goes. So with that in mind, we'll have a fib for possible zones to get a buy-in, and we'll just wait till this drops down to one of those zones. And so we got a new lower low. So we'll see. Well, that was decisive. We'll see if that comes down to this box. Probably take profit at this 61.8 if it gets there. I'm hoping it gets there. I mean, that was a pretty big fuck you candle. But at the same time, dealing in bull markets like the NASDAQ, a lot of those big drops down are very enticing to buyers that see that as like an opportunity to buy it cheap and then ride it for a quick couple points. You know, some people are scalping 10 points. I'm doing 100 points is more my sweet spot. You know, I like to get the big move, the bigger swing. Dealing in smaller ticks like that, the margin for error is you gotta be pretty accurate. All it takes is just being a little bit off. We're going to go ahead and just keep holding that. Yeah, that was kind of a surge up, but like I said, in bullish or in bull markets like the NASDAQ, especially after cracking new highs, a lot of times if you don't let go of that euphoric energy of like, oh, it's going to go up forever and ever, you can just get fucking wrecked by these shorts. You got to be able to switch modes. So we're going to keep holding this. And that's hitting that 61.8. Now we're going to kind of switch gears into more of like looking for a buy. Close these working orders out so we don't get confused. See if that And we're still at 280 for the day. We'll be ready and willing to grab as soon as that looks like the lowest it is going to look. We'll be ready for a buy right when it's the scariest. Let's see if we get one more push down lower. We don't want to even see the bottom of the wick. Let's see, one more surge, we'll get a buy. I don't know if we're actually in a position or not because it's delayed. There we go, wakey wakey. So we'll see. Been nice to get it right down there, but the way it was so glitchy, maybe it would have been a better strategy to set an order. That low was higher than that previous low, which is a big signal. Yeah, we're in the box. We're above that previous low. We're getting a lot of buying pressure. Look at that wick starting to go. And so that's a big signal for the bulls. And that signal is this, basically. These lows, that was the new low. This low, if it depends on how this candlestick closes for sure. We got 1 second. Now that's a really big definitive engulfing candle. Now if we're gonna have a shot to the upside for a record day, we're in a good buy, really low in the swing of things here. Yeah, it would have been great to capture that. Let's see that missed opportunity. Not to shame ourselves about it, but to next time capitalize better. That's 70 points. That's almost $700. Just in that wick. But I feel really confident in just holding this now. Basically, till it gets up to this level. Maybe even that level. It depends on how much profit we got. Digging out of a little bit of a hole this morning. I want to catch these base hits too. How glitchy this freaking thing is. I just want to see if we can maybe get another. Doubt it. Let's see if that wind got us into. Hey, we're finally out of the hole. Let's see if we can now hit our goal. Get out of that. Looks like a bull trap. The reason I didn't trust what was happening is just because it petered out right up here with this doji candle. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a show of strength, you know, coming back from down there. Actually, I'm going to get out of this short. I'm just going to reposition. Kind of wait till we get more towards something a little bit more obvious. Get my finger on the button for buying and selling here. I'm actually kind of, I'm thinking more sell. The reason I'm thinking more of a sell today is, you know, like I said, let's back up, 1,000-foot view. You have this big move up, followed by a lot of weakness. Now, I'm going to count this guy as the start of that. And so we're kind of in a position where it almost seems like more possible that it hits either a 20 or 38% retracement on this move before maybe trying to get for those highs again. I don't know. We're getting screwed right now. I'm gonna get out of this. One more attempt at this high before I say sayonara. I mean, one of the things about trading is you have to be able to pivot. But pivoting too much is a sign of just not having any faith at all in what you're doing. But most of the time, you want to short these highs. But I keep just hoping for that freaking thing to take off, which might be my downfall for today. The absolute worst thing to do is start getting chopped up. We got to stick to our game plan, which is sell at the tops of the wicks, sells at the bottom, you know, and not getting induced when it's dropping to think, oh, it's going to keep going down. To look at those as, oh, those are buying opportunities. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. 10-15. Got a new high. I don't know. Let's just ride the ride what we're doing here and not be indecisive. So when it drops like that, you know, to really think, oh, buying opportunity, not, oh, I'm afraid that this is going to fall to the floor and we're screwed. This looks pretty on the 3 hour. I don't ever get on the 3 hour, but it looks kind of bullish on the 3 hour. I just don't trust what the hell is happening. I'm going to switch to micros. Or maybe not. I don't know what's going on with M and Q. Guess we'll go back to, we'll just do full contract. I'm gonna do one more attempt to go higher, and then I'm gonna just switch my bias, and let's see where we're at. Oh my goodness, back in the hole. And that's how quick getting stuck in chop will just screw up your freaking balance. I just don't trust this thing to take off. I'm selling it. The indecision's over. I'm selling it. I'm holding it. $250. If I lose this trade, I'm going to be done for the day because I'm not reading this market very well. It'll be a successful red day if that's the case because of we didn't get into the other accounts. We kept this loss under 1,000, which is 1%. Now we'll stop getting chopped up with the indecision. We'll get off the DOM here so you guys can see. Get on the 5-minute. Yeah, like I said, I just not to even say I'm right. You know what I mean? This thing could just take off and have record high today, but just the way this is looking with it new high, new all-time high up here. Followed by this attempt to go higher that failed, even though it was a news attempt. But I feel like I'm starting to chase. And so we're going to just hold what we're doing. It just doesn't feel very bullish today. It feels a lot more bearish. With that being slightly above that low, that high should have been a lot more gusto than what it was. But again, we got to train our mind to see it when it's going down. Even though that is what we want, is that to drop. It's important to start to retrain the mind to, when like this, instead of saying, oh, it's going against me, to see it as a selling opportunity if that's the position we're in. Move it just above that previous. Because if it's going to be bearish at this point, this just validates the idea of the bearishness. And you know, it just seems a little bit weak.
Oh, you bastard! Shut
Sorry.
No. Calm down. Learn to enjoy it.
All right, everybody. With that, I'm not really reading this market very well. Let's see, about at our 1K max loss. So we're gonna call this a successful. Let's close all these working orders. By the way, we're gonna call that a successful red day. In the sense that not that we didn't win or whatever, but that we didn't spiral. We've only set ourselves back basically to the level of yesterday on just one account. The other one is still up, and then the other one is still up in profit. So with that being said, thanks everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing, all the social networking things. And until the power hour, we're going to call it a day. So thanks again, and have a good rest of your day, and God bless.